If you've ever had a genuinely good day with your child and then watched everything collapse, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes because what happens in that moment isn't what it looks like. And if you misread it, you'll lose hope right when something important is actually beginning to shift. My daughter finally turned 18. She moved out, 16 years of crisis mode, and then suddenly silence. My nervous system had no idea what to do with that. So I packed a change of clothes, bought a one-way ticket to Central America, and stayed in an extinct volcano for a while. Kind of symbolic. I'm Christine. I became a therapist because I was living inside of this in my home with my child every day. 16 years of reactive attachment disorder, psychiatric hospitalizations, residential placements, and a marriage that almost didn't survive it. I have a lot of information and know where to send it. So here we are. If you're in it right now, the chaos, the confusion, the feeling like nothing you try is working, this channel's for you. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why good days collapse and why that collapse is not the proof of failure it feels like. That shift in understanding changes everything because it stops you from giving up at exactly the wrong moment. Parents describe this sequence so consistently, it almost sounds scripted. A good day happens, the house feels calmer, your child cooperates. Maybe they laugh, maybe they sit near you on the couch, maybe you see something in their face that reminds you of who they could be, and you let yourself relax and think, maybe we're turning a corner. Then something small happens, a boundary, a transition, a request, and suddenly they're back. The anger, the defiance, the shutdown, sometimes cruelty. The entire day feels destroyed. And the thought that follows is always the same. Why would they ruin a good day? I heard this from family, friends. I said it myself. Well, Christine, we know how this goes. It was calm for now. Every time you let yourself believe things were getting better, the collapse ends up hurting more until eventually you'll stop letting yourself believe anything can get better. Here's what's actually happening. For a child who grew up in chaos, safety is not automatically coming. Their nervous system learned a very specific rule. Calm is temporary. Calm is what happens right before something goes wrong. A fight, a sudden move, a loss, someone disappearing. In their experience, calm was always followed by pain. So when calm appears in your home, their nervous system does not relax into it. It scans, it braces, it waits, because historically, calm meant something bad was coming. Here is one of the most counterintuitive things in trauma psychology. Human beings often prefer predictable discomfort over predictable safety. Predictable chaos can be organized around. You know when to brace, you know how to survive it. You've done it before. But unpredictable calm requires trust, and trust requires vulnerability. And vulnerability for a nervous system organized around threat feels like the most dangerous thing in the world. So sometimes the nervous system removes the vulnerability itself. It destabilizes the calm before the calm can disappear on its own. Not consciously, not maliciously, biologically. This becomes even more intense when attachment is involved because parents are not just people. Parents are the deepest attachment relationship in a child's life, which means parents are also where the deepest attachment wounds live. When connection starts to rebuild between you and your child, something powerful happens internally for them. Hope appears, and hope is risky. Hope says maybe this relationship will hold, maybe this home will stay stable, maybe this person will not leave. And that hope creates pressure because if it doesn't hold, if hope fails again, the pain will be enormous. So sometimes the nervous system tests the connection before it fully forms. It asks a question it can't say out loud. If I break this moment, will you still stay? Have you experienced this pattern? A genuinely good day followed by a sudden collapse that made no sense? Write it in the comments below because one of the most powerful things that happens when parents talk about this openly is they realize they're not the only ones living it. Isolation is one of the hardest parts of this work, and realizing you're not alone in it changes something. In the next video, I'm going to show you something even more surprising about this pattern, why the testing often gets more intense the closer you get to real stability, and why that moment, which feels like total regression, is actually one of the most important signs that something is changing. If you misread that part, you will quit right when things are starting to shift. Watch that next. And if this is helping you see your home a little differently, subscribe. This series built on itself and is designed to be watched in order.